Well,
to be.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen, um, to episode 48. Ooh, nearing the big 50 of Crypto Waffle. Today's topics are surviving and thriving in a bear market. Can you still make money in a bear market? How to adapt your strategy and when the hype fades and patient pays? Take profit or hold long term. Should you sell everything at take profit levels and wait for re-entries, or keep conviction assets? Or there's topic 3, smart strategies for re-entry. How to position when the market flips, building dry powder, spotting value, and preparing for the next cycle. You may be thinking, hang on a minute, it's a bit premature to be talking about surviving the bear market, but these questions have arisen from a member of our Crypto Waffle VIP channel, so I thought we'd do a whole episode and break down all of her questions. So that's what we're going to do.
We do probably do it differently. We probably see it differently because we've got different ideas about crypto, how to make money from it, and what it means to us. So for everybody, this answer will be a little bit different. So don't take what me or Alex say as gospel or financial advice. Just take it as a breadcrumb that leads you in the right direction, and then make up your own mind based on where you are in your own life and what other skills you have.
Yeah, because we are all totally in our own individual scenarios.
We are. Shall we do a disclaimer? We were saying about doing disclaimers.
I think we should do. We need to make one, actually. We need to put together a little disclaimer that we can either flash up on the screen or that we read out for the ladies and gentlemen every time we're on here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If we make one that we read out, it has to rhyme, and we have to have like a background music to it, so it can be like
some sort of rap.
Yeah, a disclaimer rap.
Yeah, nothing mentioned on Crypto Waffle should be taken as financial advice. It's purely two people that don't have a clue what they're doing, just talking.
Yes, and we haven't had a clue what we've been doing for years and years.
No.
And we are absolutely stony broke, Mr. Taxman.
Indeed.
We don't make any money ever. Thank you very much.
No.
So, bear market. Let's first of all define.
I would like to ask you this question first, because you are the goat here, the one that's been around for, what is it, 4 cycles?
Yeah.
4 cycles now?
So I feel like I started in a bear market, and then I've done 12, 18. So I've done 3 bear markets.
3 bear markets. So what is the tactic to surviving a bear market?
Right. So I'll tell you mine, right? I've got 2. The first and most important thing is you have to squeeze your mind out of this monthly income mindset. That's the first one. So if you're thinking I need to make money every month in the bear market, forget about it. Like you're just going to get chopped. It's not happening. You're not going to do it. What you need to do is during the bull market, you need to make enough money to get you through the bear market. It's like a bear going into hibernation. That's why it's called the bear market. Right? If you think of a bear and you think, I'm going to go to sleep, I may not make any money for this next 2 years. So during the bull market, make sure that you've got your yearly salary times 3 stocked up. So if you are full-time crypto, you don't have to go and work or do anything. If you're not full-time crypto, then that doesn't apply to you. You just carry on going to work. And to survive the bear market, I think the main thing is to consider that during the bear market is actually when you really make your money, because it's Now, there's 2 ways to do this. You can either position yourself by purely buying spot and holding. So let's say you might like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. So during the bear market, you buy it. And you've got to buy stuff when everybody is absolutely certain that it's dead. That's when you've got to buy stuff. And you have to be kind of sure that it's not dead. So, for example, I know somebody who looks a lot like you who may or may not have bought Solana when it was way down in the dumps and everybody was shouting that it was dead. I remember around that time somebody saying, "Oh yeah, if you go to the Solana offices, they're actually empty." Ha ha ha! That project was a scam. Ha 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 ha! Perfect buy signal. So you buy that crap and you sit on it. You come back to it in 2 years' time, and you've done, I don't know, 20x or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that's one thing you do. The second thing, which a lot of people don't do, which I think everybody should do, is you attach yourself to one or two projects and you actually start to volunteer. You actually help out. You actually get to learn. So this time around, I done that with a project called Sarai Dex, and I've since left it alone because it just didn't launch in time. But my thinking behind it was this. If you attach yourself to a project, especially a project pre-launch or a project that's really small and aiming to grow bigger, number one, you will know everything about the project, which will give you a fundamentals-based idea on when to exit the project. So, for example, supposing you're in a project and you know the project has got 5 developers who you really like. One of the developers is falling out with people and he decides to leave. And you've got a good idea that he was the best one there, or he was the most important one there. Let's say over these 2 years, you've got to understand about software development, or it could be something else, but you've got some kind of inside alpha about this project and you feel, okay, I think it's time to leave. I feel like possibly it's now gotten too treacherous. Being on the inside will help with that. Also, if you have a skill set, let's say you're a marketer by trade, or you're a branding expert by trade, or you are a salesman by trade, you can help that project to grow. So you can add your value to that project for free, or depending if it's a DAO, you might even get paid. And I think that's a great thing to do in the bear market. The reason why it's better in the bear market is because in the bear market, there's less noise. So there are less projects to choose from, less projects to feel like you really want to go and get, and there is less opportunists who just want to make a quick buck. Most of the projects that are still building in the bear market will definitely be around in the bull market. The same can't be said the other way around. A lot of stuff that's around in the bull market will literally vanish in the bear market. So long story short, that's how I feel is the best way to survive and handle the bear market.
So to break that down for people, first of all, what you're saying is you need to figure out how much your salary or how much you need to spend to live your life on a year, roughly.
Yeah.
Times that by 3. So
Yeah.
first of all, you can hang around.
Yeah.
And then over that time, find something to do to keep your mind ticking over effectively whilst you're there.
Yeah. And you'll be surprised how amazing a human being can become in 1 year of not having to go to his 9 to 5. You'll be surprised. Like, you might spend the first few months sitting on your backside watching every single episode of The Simpsons, season 1, season 34. I may or may not have done that. And then after that time, you will then decide, you know what, let me pick up a book. You might read a book about macroeconomics. You might read a book about radical markets. You might read a book about, I don't know, being a good husband. Once you've done that, because you've got so much time on your hands, you'll be surprised how quickly you can really learn new things, learn new skills, and then apply those new skills. So
the key thing is to kind of not get distracted with other stuff and try and keep yourself locked into
yeah,
craft.
And start to get used to being a full-time crypto person, which means
Or working for yourself sort of thing, effectively.
Yeah, you're no longer in the rat race. You no longer have somebody who will ring you, or not ring you, but shout at you at 8:30 in the morning if you are not at your desk. You no longer have that. So you now have to develop some new skills, some new disciplines. You now have to develop new habits. Getting out of bed is the most difficult one. So, for example, there is a guy who I know who, during my second cycle, he became very rich. And he used to be the head of international sanctions for a multinational telecommunications company, right? So he was making a lot of money beforehand, and then he plowed a lot of money into crypto, and he got rich. Then he quit. And one day I rang him, and it was about 10:45 in the morning. I rang him. I'm like, "Hello." He says, hello. I was like, I was like, mate, what are you doing? It's nearly midday. He was like, I'm in bed. Like, I don't really need to get up. And I was like, yes, you do. And he was like, well, no, last night I didn't go to bed till late. I was like, well, why? Why are you now staying up till late and not going to bed? Needless to say, he ran through all the money that he had made and he's now back at work now. But the point being that you have to really prepare yourself for that change in mindset. Like surviving a bear market is no easy task. And most of it, much like everything else in crypto, is an exercise in mental discipline and gymnastics.
Because I think that although I've only experienced one bear market, right? I actually think that surviving a bear market is easier than surviving a bull market.
Yes. Yes.
I think it
Yeah.
probably is because the thing is, as you said, there's not as much noise going on. You haven't
Yeah.
got people going, look at this shiny thing, look at that shiny thing. You haven't possibly, you're not potentially selling winners for complete crap.
Yeah.
And also in a bull market, the thing is, you need to hold on to it long enough to make the money.
Yeah.
That's one of the hard ones. Is a lot of
Yeah.
people will cash too early. I've done it.
Yeah. And in a bear market, there's far fewer influences around. And
Yeah,
it's the influences that really get you. That's how I've
all their little
lost the
hooks
most
and little
money.
videos. If you did
Always.
this, you could do this, and blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
And you
Yeah,
know what it is? Like, I used to fall into the same trap. I'll watch somebody, I'll be like, oh, he looks smart, he sounds smart. And there'll be like a one cycle wonder, which is what I'm wary of. He looks smart, he sounds smart. You know, sometimes it could be for really stupid reasons. When I look back on it, like he just sounded smart, or he just looked. What does look smart even mean? Like, but he looked smart, he sounded smart. They're generally always he's as well, which shows my own chauvinistic tendencies. But then after a while, they'll say, "Oh, why don't you buy this shiny thing? Look, this is going to change it." And I'll be like, "Oh, that must be the new trend." Off I go, lump my money in, and I don't see it again. Now
yeah.
that doesn't really happen in bear markets because all of the influencers are
All the
off.
noise has gone.
Yeah, they're off. They're doing AI courses, or they're this time around they'll all be doing AI courses. So all the crypto influencers you see now, they'll be doing AI courses. Uh, Last time they all went off and they became forex traders. So they'll pick something else which is currently cool, and they'll all bugger off and start being influencers doing that. But I would agree actually, surviving a bear market is probably easier because you get in your
As much as
lane
it can
and
be
you stay in there.
painful, I think, and when I say painful, I'm talking for people like first cycle. So like last cycle, I didn't sell anything, rode the whole bag down, just days after days, weeks after weeks of red, 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 and it goes lower than you think's even possible to go low, and
And then you're
then
like, I might as well not sell it now.
yeah, it's so far down. You're like, well, what's the point in me selling? It's pointless. You may as well just hold it for it to come back up again. And
Yeah.
obviously, if you're holding the right stuff, you normally end up with more money than you started with. But it's that psychological pressure to feel like you need to exit when actually you should be doing the total opposite of when you're feeling like you need to exit, you should be loading up.
Well, sometimes. So we discussed this in our AMA at the weekend, and there's a project called Dash, and I bought into Dash early. Right, I wrote a blog post in like I don't know, it must have been 2015, saying how to become a millionaire with Dash. I thought I was well clever, right? So at the time, Bitcoin's market cap was $6 billion. I remember the numbers, right? So Bitcoin's market cap was $6 billion, and I had figured out if Dash's market cap gets to $6 billion, then one masternode will cost $1,000, and each masternode, which is a collection of 1,000 of the tokens, will be worth $1 million. So therefore, if you've got 1,000 tokens, you'll be a millionaire. The tokens were maybe 70 cents at the time, or no, 7 cents at the time. So a masternode at the time was like $7,000, $5,000 or $6,000,
Yeah.
$7,000. Anyway, long story short, by the time 2017 comes, guess what? Dash Master knows $1,000. So how smart am I? Well,
Yeah.
but obviously I'm at that point. Obviously now I'm an influencer because I met you.
Yeah.
But before that, I wasn't an influencer. So I just took my W in private. I was like, look, I said this was going to happen. It's happened, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. All right, fine. Now, in my mind, Dash fundamentally has not changed. It's the same brilliant project that was worth $6 billion then. Everybody, maybe me, maybe not, rode that train all the way back down. All the way back down. Now each dash is now $30 or something like that. And after a while, you do feel like it's gone too low. I have to wait for it to come back. Now, that was 2 cycles ago. I don't think Dash is coming back. No matter how much I load up on it, I don't think it's coming back. I think it's had its life cycle.
Yeah.
And I think that's the scary part about the bear market. It's a case of, is this down because it's the bear market and everything's down? Or is this down because its life cycle was finished and it's no longer relevant? Apart from, not to offend the people in the Dash community, to the small bunch of people in that particular cult. Because they're still developing. They're still building on their privacy. They're still releasing their platform. They're still doing all those things as they were doing before. But now the relevance is gone because everybody's doing smoking chicken dick butts and stuff like that. So that's the counter argument to loading up more, is that
you've got to have enough conviction that it's actually worth you loading up.
Yeah. And you've got to be careful. And I think that's just a matter of luck, because there are some projects which I'm certain are absolute garbage, like XRP, which is gone through cycle after cycle after cycle. BNB, cycle after cycle after cycle, and it's not gone away. But then there are some things which I feel are technically very good, like Dash, which had one cycle, or Nano, which is another one, which gives you instant transactions that are basically feeless, but you can't spam the network. It's brilliant, like it literally solves everything, and it's finished. No one cares. It's like it's not around. Like and that's the thing. So this cycle, it might be something like Xano. So I know I said Nano before, but Nano and Xano are 2 different projects. So Xano now is something that you look at and I'm like, well, the tech's great. They know what they're doing. They're building. That doesn't matter. At the end of this cycle, Xano may go down and it may be finished, or it may go down and it may come back like Zcash has.
Yeah.
So I think it's difficult, I would say. And the last cycle, I changed my bear market strategy quite a lot. And I sat in stables until they got wobbly. And then I sat in ETH and Bitcoin. And I feel like in a bear market, sitting in ETH and Bitcoin is the safest thing to do, but probably not the most profitable thing to do.
Yeah. I think it's all about spreading risk when you're doing that.
Yeah.
It's about where you want to hold it. Where do you hold it between? It could be that you take some money out, stick it in a high interest savings account here in the UK, and then when it's ready to go back in, you move it back in again. Yeah. There's loads of different ways you could manage that.
Problem being, it's a taxable event when you sell, which you have to remember. Obviously, not financial advice, but in the UK, it's a taxable event when you sell. So is it worth selling to hold if you think it's coming back, knowing you're going to take a 20% hit? Also, I feel like this is something that everybody has to have an honest word with themselves about, is how much do you know about your own risk tolerance, and how much do you know about your own ability to judge it? So I'm quite certain now my ability to judge risk is crappy. Even though I've been doing this for a long time, I think I'm rubbish at it. I think your ability to judge risk is excellent. And you haven't been around as long as me. I think some people are just better at handling their risk and not getting themselves over their skis than other people. And as an individual, I think you have to really have that honest conversation with yourself, and don't just say to yourself, you know what, I'm clever, so I made all this money before, ain't I smart?
When you start saying that, it normally comes to bite you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're coming to that part of the cycle where everybody starts to really feel their own source. Like I'm walking around like I'm 6'3" at the moment. I'm like, yeah,
It's
I
just a
am.
bull market.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bit, Bitcoin all-time highs. Like everybody else needs to watch their mouths because I am the best in the world right now, and that's the way it is. The dangerous part is that when Bitcoin or one of my star players decides to poo the bed, then what?
You go back to hibernation.
Then I go back. Yeah, then I go back to being a nice guy. Then I go back to being tolerable.
Yeah.
Then
I
I go
mean,
back to-
my take's slightly different, but again, this is only obviously coming from experience, and I've only experienced one bear market. Now, I'm speaking from what the time was a 20-year-old, 21-year-old me.
Mhm.
So, bear market, right, for me was holy shit, I'm down, like bad, like probably 85%, like overall. And to me, it was a lot of money at the time, but like now you're like, well, you were 20 and stupid, right? So it doesn't really matter. But my ethos then, or ethos, was slightly different. It was, right, I need to work like hell at work, all the overtime possible, everything. And then whilst this is down, pile the absolute living daylights out of it. And obviously, the bear market or last cycle was about a year from peak
Yeah,
to
quite
trough,
short. Yeah, quite
thereabouts.
short.
I
Yeah.
was DCA the whole way down, the whole way along, and pretty much all the way up until maybe back end of Q2 this year,
Hmm.
and just putting in as much as I could. So as far as the tax man's looking, I've got a serious addiction. I've never taken anything out, but all they've seen is ridiculous amounts of money go in. They must be thinking, Christ, this kid's got real problems. Like he's got
Oh my
no
gosh.
hope.
The
But
word is the word is degen. I think
yeah,
that's the word that
proper
is.
degen. But that's the trouble. So when in the bear market, I was like, well, what do I buy? So first of all, I did what anyone would do, and it was the big two at the time: Bitcoin, ETH. They
Yeah.
were just like they're 100% happening. And then I started putting my and then again because it's a bear market, right? Also as well as learning from YouTube videos, reports, all that sort of stuff. Put yourself out there. Put yourself
Mm.
out there in front of people in the space. Like when did I come across your channel? Was it last year?
It might have been longer than that, you know.
Might have been. But in the bear market, I was doing a lot of meetups or going to meetups. I was going to Real Vision meetups. I went to um, like Coin Bureau events. I went to Bitcoin Amsterdam. I did like loads of these things, right? You just put yourself out there in front of people and get talking.
Yeah.
And then in those circles, you come across people like
Yeah.
that was when I was looking at talking to a load of people about this Solana thing. I was like, well, what the hell is that? And this thing's gone down to $8 or whatever it was, $10, and it was up at like 200. And I was like, why are all these smart people talking about this? Yet I know nothing. But then, obviously, being young and stupid, you just listen to them and buy it,
Yeah.
and it
I
worked.
don't think that's stupid.
No. Oh, well, when you're what 20, probably around 22-year-old at the time, 23 maybe, you're listening to these people, and some of these people worked for the government trying to
Mhm.
teach crypto regulations. Some of these people work for hedge funds. Some of them work
Yeah.
for the big banks, and all these people that. And I'm just the average Joe, right? I'm just the apprentice here. Everyone else is a big person, like they're like VC
An
funds,
adult.
whatever.
They're
Yeah,
all
like adults, and there's just little old me, right? But you listen to it, and this is where you learn. So in the bear market, and it depends what stage of your life you're at, but if you're young, like by all means, work the living hell out of your 9 to 5 to get enough capital to push into this.
yeah.
If you've already got the capital, try and step away and up your knowledge and up your game yourself. So hone a craft. It could be technical analysis. It could be fundamental research. It's like you said earlier, you could join a project.
Yeah.
You could do anything. But I think the main thing is, and for me, like bear market, one, I cleansed who the hell I was listening to because it
Mhm.
felt I'd fucked it up so bad. I was like, well, first of all, it's basically who I've been watching. And then you look at who you're used to watching, you're like, wow, no wonder you screwed it. Like, Christ.
How many of them are still around, or have they all?
I don't know, I cleared them all.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna
And
know
obviously
them.
through the bear market, you then also figure out who is the real ones.
Yeah.
Like who's still around, who's still making content,
Yeah.
and they're the ones you need to watch
Yeah.
effectively. And then also you have learning how to do fundamental research. I learned how to do that during the bear market. That's how
Yeah.
I found gems like syrup.
Yeah.
And I got into Algorand pretty early. I got out on that first pump. Like you find these things and researching about them, and it pays off. And it's not like you put it on, you wait a week, see if it moves. Like you could be waiting years,
Yeah.
like literal years.
Yeah.
I've been holding my Doge position since 22.
Yeah.
It's
Good
just
position.
slowly building. That was a
Good,
cracking position,
good position.
but you hold it for years.
Yeah,
So
but then when it does go up, people will be like, "Oh, overnight success."
yeah, and I'll
They
just be
don't.
standing there giving them the middle finger.
Yeah, they don't know how many nights you went to sleep thinking, "Please let tomorrow be the day. Please let
Yeah,
tomorrow be the day," and eventually you get your just desserts. So yeah, I think that's how you survive a bear market. I think that the first and foremost is that you've got to, like you always say, which I love to say to myself in my head now, is you've got to zoom out.
yeah,
You've
always,
got to zoom out.
always.
You can't go into a bear market thinking, what's going to pump next? Is there going to be a dip next month?
Yeah,
Because there's going to be a dip every month.
yeah.
Every day there's
It's
going
gonna go
to.
deeper than you could even imagine.
The dip's going to dippity double dip the room. It's going to just dip until, yeah. So you don't really want to be thinking, because I'm hearing so many of those like short term questions, like what's going to happen next week?
Everyone's
What's going to
worried
happen
about what's happening next week or next month.
next
That's not
week,
what you
next
should be
month?
worried about.
Next month. No, you've
I mean,
got
it
to.
is when you come towards the end of the cycle, like where we are now. You will want to be hyper concerned about what's happening over the next 2 to 6 months. Like you
If
want
you
to be,
weren't, I think if you weren't already positioned correctly from 2, 3 years ago, then yes.
yeah,
If you positioned yourself 2, 3 years ago, then
yeah. You just let it play out till it happens, then you run.
yeah. And
Effectively,
maybe you have to accept that. What I'm honest with myself about is that you can never predict the top. You're going to lose a lot of your gains because you can't run away as soon as it dips. Like, oh, that must be the top, and then well, you can,
yeah,
but then if you're wrong, you're going to really regret it. And obviously, there's all the noise about this time being different, which we always say it never really happens. So I think it's very difficult to predict when the bear market's going to start, or even
yeah.
recognizing that it has started.
Yeah, I think the best things in the bear market is definitely learning how to do fundamental research. Like learn how to read people's reports. What does all this jibber jabber in the reports mean? Like because when you first open, it's absolute gibberish. Like
Yeah.
you don't understand anything. And now we've got AI since the last bear market.
Hmm.
It can do it all for you. So the amount of reports you'll be able to smash through, nuts. Like you'll be
This
doing crazy numbers.
this is the golden age of stupidity.
Yeah,
Even us stupid people, we can now understand everything that the scientists and the top traders in the world pump out with all of their jargon. Just ask ChatGPT; they will tell you.
yeah. The big thing for the bear market, though, like a lot of people, it's unlikely you will make big money in a bear market. The big money is made in the bear market by doing the research and finding the projects,
Yeah,
but it's unlikely you'll find some sort of sustainable source of money that's coming in through the bear market.
right. So what I think is that the bear market is when you plant your seeds.
Yeah,
So this bear market, some of them hatch early and then get go in the bin. Like so, one project that I really liked in this last bear market was a project called Maya, which was a fork of Thorchain. Now, no one knows who it is or what it is, but in my mind, I thought Maya and Thorchain would do hype and Asta numbers. For cross chain, anyone can put in their liquidity like an AMM DEX, but you can do Bitcoin to Ethereum, which means you can
yeah,
do Bitcoin to USDT on Tron. These guys are gonna kill it, surely. Early doors, Maya done a 10x on my watch. And then it done another doubled again from there. I thought I was really smart, rode it up, rode it back down to the original 10. So lost quite a lot. But I jumped out of it then. Even that was kind of right at the start of the bull market because it wasn't one that I felt was going to come through. I didn't feel like the narrative was going to move with it, and there was too much FUD around 4chain. But yeah, so I think that in the bear market is when you make your money, but it's like planting a seed, and then in the bull market you harvest it, you chop your crop.
Yeah. That takes us into topic 2 quite nicely, which is take profit or hold long term. Should you sell everything at take profit levels if you have it and wait for re-entries, or keep conviction assets like Bitcoin, maybe Tesla, and some bigger names in stocks and crypto world? I think personally this comes down to time horizon,
Yes.
because if you're holding stocks in a pension, you ain't going to be selling them. Like realistically, and we've seen through time, right? Holding the S&P and waiting 20 years, where's it 20 years down the line? Usually up.
Yeah.
Like there's periods of time where the S&P does range in like 8 years or whatever it is, and it looks really boring. But over the much longer term, you will likely be a hell of a lot higher than where you sold.
In stocks, I think you've got the tech stocks, which Amazon, Google, I think those stocks you just buy and hold them because wherever tech goes, they are now so embedded into the infrastructure and the fiber of technology that those companies are going to be the best at it. Like we've seen with AI, everybody's got their AI model. All of these top guys have got their AI model, apart from Amazon, who don't seem to have one yet, but they've got an AI coder, and they will have an AI model soon enough. It's just literally a question of when. So with those, I would say yes. The problem we have with a real long-term horizon is, again, will the stock be there or will the crypto be there? And like we did in our AMA the other day, I showed the way back machine and I showed the top 20 in crypto from almost 10 years ago. I think it was 10 years ago, nine years ago. And out of the top 20, I think, I don't know, was
All
it seven?
5 are still there.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, there was a few, I think about 7 or 8 that
I think it
had.
was BNB, Bitcoin, Doge.
Yeah. I think Monero had hung around. ETH.
Monero wasn't top 20.
So I think,
Well,
so
not
that,
now, isn't it? Isn't now anyway.
no.
So yeah, you maybe have 4 or 5 that were still
Yeah.
there today in the top 20.
Yeah. So with crypto, I think long term conviction bets.
The only ones I would hold long-term conviction bets, Bitcoin, Doge, ETH,
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I say long-term, I'm talking like 5 years plus.
And you know what I honestly feel with Bitcoin and ETH? I kind of feel like there can only be one long term. And I don't think it will be ETH.
No, well, the most proven one, and we've seen it through history, is Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So I
And
mean,
I
this is
made a massive bet, which I'm hoping that my friend doesn't make me cash in on. But I made a massive, like, real with my whole chest, like, oh, I'm sure about this one, that Ethereum would surpass Bitcoin by the end of this year.
no.
Obviously, I knew I had no chance by the end of last year, or maybe even by the end of the year before. But when I made the bet, like it was on the cards, and I thought, you know what, I'll give myself an entire cycle and a half, and surely I'll get there. And no, I haven't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Between those three, I would definitely have Doge, and I would have Bitcoin and Ethereum.
It comes down to when you put the position on, is this a short-term play or longer term? Like,
Yeah,
and you could have a part of your Bitcoin holdings that's for longer term and part that's for shorter term. There's nothing wrong with that. You yourself have to distinguish, is that long or short? And if it's long, stick it somewhere. Don't touch it. Don't look at it. Crack on.
yeah,
Right? If it's the short term stuff, you can watch your Instagrams, get dragged into films or whatever it is, puke it at the bottom, and then go, "Oh my god, I should have bought," and then it does 10x, and you can do all of that. But
yeah,
the long term stuff, just don't do anything quick. If you've
yeah,
made a bet, make the bed and lie in it.
yeah. And this is why your risk management is better than mine, because I tend to blur those lines. Like sometimes sometimes I treat my short term stuff like I should treat my long term stuff. And I'm like, all right, I believe in this one. Even though I know it's short term, like it's gonna be a good short term. And that's never a good idea. So yeah, I definitely agree.
So I
And
mean, that's another thing. Like the stocks as well. I'd quite confidently hold the likes of Coinbase, Tesla, and like you said, some of the big ones earlier. I'd quite happily hold them for 5 years plus.
yeah,
Like they're no brainers. But then again, a portion of them or a portion of my holdings. So say that you go out and buy $10,000 of Tesla or whatever it is, right? You can then say, well, 20% of what I bought here is a long-term bag, not touching it. Then the other 80%, you could trade around. You could sell a bit here, try and catch a dip and go back in and increase your holdings and do all that fancy stuff. But you just have to distinguish yourself what it is that you're doing. Don't go one day, oh yeah, that's all long term. And then next week when the price is down, go, I actually know it's short term. I want that out. Because that is how you directly ruin it.
well, and the thing is, it's difficult because what characteristics does a crypto asset have that makes it long term?
I
And
think
this is the
I think the
reason.
main one is history.
Okay, yes,
Like
yeah,
realistically, there's
yeah,
not much else you can look at. And it's
yeah,
the same in the stocks world. Like if
yeah,
stuff's been around yonks, it's normally still going to be there.
yeah,
Especially if it's a company like that we all use, like we all use Amazon Web Services, or we all use bloody Google stuff, and we all have an Apple iPhone or a MacBook,
yeah.
right? All that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you're right because it's not narrative, and all of the things like the reasons why, and I will quite like I will happily say the stuff that I've been wrong on and the stuff that I'm currently wrong on is because you can't take the logic from one project's success or failure and then apply it to another one. You,
No,
you literally can't. You just have to look at time. You do. Like we spoke, and I started pooing on Ondo, didn't I? I was like, oh, Ondo feels like IOTA was in 2017, and IOTA's gone, and it's just real world assets. But what are they really doing? Who cares? Like, chuck it in a bin. But I could comfortably be wrong. If Ondo starts to show that time and that strength over a period of time, chances are it becomes one of the ones that sticks around, much like Litecoin or XRP, where I can't go and say, here's the fundamental reason why this is massive. But the time alone, now, I would not in a million years bet on XRP going to
well,
zero.
XRP has proved that over time that it's hung around.
Right. So I would not. I now own XRP. Look
Yeah,
at me. Like, and literally, I remember when it first came out. It was the first one.
I can
It was
imagine
my
your
first.
face clicking that mouse to buy that. You're like, "Ugh."
No, because I had to humble myself. The crypto market crypto humbled me in 2017. So I've been humbled. So I realized I was just wrong, and it's fine.
Yeah,
But I remember when XRP first came out, it was definitely the first project that I ever took to my keyboard and was a warrior against. This is rubbish. That was me. And
yeah,
wrong. Absolutely wrong. The time now means that I now have much more faith in XRP than I do in MetaDAO, which I feel is fundamentally the best thing out there, or much more faith in XRP than I have in Hyperliquid
yeah.
or Asta or any of these projects, which I fundamentally really believe will hang around. None of them come close to the amount of faith I've got in XRP now, purely because it's been around.
Yeah,
Time in
definitely.
the market beats time in the
Timing the
market.
market always. Right,
The
then
same
that
goes for
takes us on to the third and final topic: smart strategies for re-entering. How to position when the market flips, building dry powder, spotting value, and preparing for the next cycle. And I think to be fair, we did cover that in topic one. So that is
yeah.
effectively, go
I
on.
feel like I feel like we had quite a few ideas about what would happen this cycle, and I feel like none of them have come to be.
Mm,
So we had theories around base being the top dog and
still is a
really,
top dog, I'd argue.
yeah, but the base tokens haven't really been the narrative. There's been a new narrative which has taken us all by surprise away from the AI narratives of last year. Let's say we break this bull market down into like two mini bull markets: the end of 24 and the one we're currently in now. So I'd say our narratives that we were saying before as ways to position ourselves during the bear market, the ones we've done well from was probably memes, which everyone's done well from.
Yeah.
We was on mobile. Mobile hasn't materialized like we thought it would. So Ton, we was expecting Ton to be doing numbers.
Yet.
Right, yet.
We're not
Yeah.
done.
So we positioned ourselves for those. They haven't materialized. Ton and Base are the main two that I remember. And Cross Chain was another one. So Maya, Thor Chain, that was another one that I had personally positioned myself.
The AI one, I think, ruined a lot of people in crypto anyway. AI crypto.
Yeah, it ruined me because I
capitulated ARC and stuff down like 80%.
Easily. But right, so AI was one where I think that was like a bull trap. So before, when the bear market was going and AI came about and then ChatGPT came about in the height of the bear market, I was like, right, these things are good. And me, like everybody else, I was like, AI, full send. Get rid of all my memes, full send AI.
When you say bear market, you meant the pullback in Q4, right?
No, I mean like when ChatGPT came out, which was like what, end of 22?
Was
when
it?
did the first
23?
No, first ChatGPT was end of 22.
Really?
I'm sure it was. Yeah, because I was at Web Summit when I first heard about it, and they were pooing all over it, and they were like, "This is not really AI. It's just predictive text on steroids and blah blah blah." And they were going for it, like going for gold. And obviously, with my XRP story that I always tell, whenever I feel like people are shouting how drastically wrong it is, but it's fit for purpose, I always will try to strawman the argument and see, well, how's it right? Yeah. And then I used it, and then I kind of realized, okay, it is predictive text, but what if it gets stronger? What if it can predict for longer? What if it can predict a whole book? What if it can predict a picture? What if it can predict a film? And those things have come to be. So that's why I was like, right, AI is going to be the new thing. And what if your AI can start to buy and sell your tokens? What if your AI can be your banker? We haven't quite seen that yet. Projects have talked about it happening, but I've not seen it work in no serious capacity. But at the end of 24, in my mind, I was like, right, that's the next thing. Full send. All of the big projects are doing it. All of Google, all of these guys, they're all in on AI. Meta, all in on AI. All of these guys. So I need to be all in on AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing to be fair, like in the stocks world, I never bought any AI stuff ever. And I'm really kicking myself for that. Yeah. And now, obviously, because it's all of the stocks are ripping, you kind of feel FOMO, but I know myself too well. I'm not going to position here.
And it being in crypto, how easy was an NVIDIA buy as a stock? Like, we already know that NVIDIA basically made chips for mining.
On the AI subject, right? I've been saying for anyone that's asked me about AI, like stocks-wise, I've been saying everyone for a while, AMD has better upside potential here than Nvidia. Nvidia is currently valued at 4 trillion. Not to say it can't go any more. And I know people that like evaluation, it's overvalued. It's 26 times. Who cares, right? Yep. AI is obviously clearly a longer term.
Yep.
AMD, right, is a $320 billion stock. They are Nvidia's biggest competitor. From here, risk to reward, you have more upside in AMD.
But so from a fundamental point of view, this is not really crypto.
Yeah, that's not looking at any of their fundamental analysis for either company.
But here's the reason why I feel like you could be right and wrong. So the reason why NVIDIA have this moat is because they have this technology, I think it's called CUDA, which can only work on NVIDIA chips. And all of the AI, all of them, even the open source ones, like they're all like CUDA. Anyone that's worth considering is CUDA. So the NVIDIA chips have kind of like got this moat that AI, all of the AI in the world has to use this technology. Now, if there comes to be some reason for everybody to believe that possibly AMD can close that moat somehow or another, does the AMD stock rip?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, do they even have to actually close that moat?
No.
No. They
It's a
just
whole
have to.
story.
It just has to be a story. And if that story comes out tomorrow, like say tomorrow, China or DeepSeek, let's say they release some project which is just as good as ChatGPT 5, open source, 10 cents per million tokens output, and doesn't need NVIDIA chips. You don't need a H100 to run it. You can use an AMD so and so. AMD rips.
All day.
Yeah, all day. And that's why I would agree there is more upside to those things. But there's the risk, because the risk is, what if it doesn't? And what if China release something and they say, all right, we're going to put our own different type of technology in there, and only Huawei chips will work with it?
Because for like someone that's my age, I don't know about other people, but I would, if I had 10 grand, right, I'd much rather put that in AMD than Nvidia.
Do you know what I would do, which I've learned from you?
You're going to be smart now, aren't you? Going to say 80-20 split.
No. What you say, which I really like, and you say it a lot, is you say, I'll wait for a confirmation.
Yeah.
So you see this breakout, you see this retest, then you wait for confirmation.
That's it. That's what you do in the bear market. You learn some basics.
That's what you always say. And every time you say it, I'm like, yeah, that's actually quite smart. I should have been doing that with my life. Wait for confirmation. Don't just go all trigger happy. So that's probably what I would do. I would probably wait until the Chinese do find a solution, because this is hurting them. This reliance on chips that Trump can effectively control is hurting them. And short of them going to invade Taiwan, which they won't do because they've never invaded anywhere, but short of them doing that, they've got no other way to close that leak other than fixing this. So I'll wait for confirmation, because they might make something to do with AMD, but then they might still be in the same problem, because AMD, again, is not a Chinese company. If they do it with another Chinese or even Asian, or basically just a non-American company, could be a European company, unlikely, but could be, then there's a good chance that they would rather have the weakness there. And I would wait for confirmation. Once you get that confirmation, like my good friend, the financial navigator, says, send it.
Then you can pull the trigger.
Then we go full send, yeah.
Before we move on to predictions, there's one last thing I want to cover, and that was in the topic 3, and it's preparing for the next cycle. So if you've taken some profits, right, you've got a macro framework that's saying, like we've been saying, the end of this year, potentially early next year, is where the top will likely be in. Okay, this time probably not going to be different to any last time, and we see a top soon. If you've got profits and you've taken them, and you know, or you think you know, a bear market might be coming, you don't invest. You sit on those stables, you sit on those dollars, the pounds, euros, whatever it is you hold, and then you wait to go back in. And like we briefly mentioned earlier, we discussed this on a different episode, but you spread that risk of where you're holding your stables effectively, or pounds or dollars. And that could be, in the UK, you spread them between different bank accounts. Maybe you think HSBC is going to blow up, so you put it in Barclays, NatWest, and Nationwide, like sort of thing. You spread your risk around. So if you've got profits or you've been taking profits, just push them aside. Don't feel the need. In crypto, it's very easy to start pushing profits back into a project and just consistently recycle them, rather than actually giving yourself some stables.
I'm gonna throw a spanner in the works, right? Do you know what I'm beginning to really not like is the term "take profits." You shared a brilliant tweet yesterday. No, when did we have our AMA? Friday?
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, you shared a brilliant tweet by a guy who was basically saying, if you look at the value or the performance of the dollar, which is where we're taking our profits, if it's not the dollar, it's the pound, or it's some other scam coin that is vaguely pegged loosely to the dollar. If you take your profits in the dollar and you see how the dollar has performed against the
asset.
gold or the house or the Bitcoin, you will see against the house, against gold. I think they said against gold, it's performed badly. Against the house, it's like a capitulation. And against Bitcoin, it's like a disaster or something like that, the thing said. But it really said that. So in my mind, I don't know if
It's
take
what we
profit.
value. They say the denominator. It's what
Yeah,
you value the denominator in.
yeah,
If you're pricing everything in Bitcoin and gold terms, okay, right now it's really cheap because they're both at all-time highs.
yeah.
If you're looking at it in dollar value, and you say this all the time, the dollar's at all-time lows.
All time lows.
So again, like you just said, that the taking profits. If you're taking profits to move into Bitcoin, that's probably a great move down the line.
Yeah,
If you've got a brand new Lamborghini you want to buy, and they're not accepting Bitcoin, you need those dollars.
you're
So go
stuck.
and sell the dollars.
So, but
Yes,
also,
you need to take that into mind when you're taking profits.
we'll say taking profits mostly because we know that Bitcoin is due a 70% correction. Let's say
Yeah,
next cycle it might be less, might be 60, 50%. But we know that Bitcoin is due a massive correction. So we would call it taking profits. But when you do sell your Bitcoin, you're not selling your Bitcoin to hold your dollars for any longer than a year and a half, no matter how much you've sold. So if you've made
if you've done a
20 million,
10x, you could wait 10 years before investing those dollars, and you still haven't lost any money.
what's the money? So if so you sell, so let's say you sell and let's say you take profit, right? You you've not really taken profit because you're not going to keep those dollars for longer than 18 months. You're going to sell, you're going to watch Bitcoin drop, and then you must put your dollars back into Bitcoin. So basically, you're just sheltering your value
Yeah.
temporarily. So you're sheltering it temporarily, and the take profit is really when you move out of your altcoins into your Bitcoin. Because if long term your idea is I'm going to make 5 million and sit on it, then you have lost your mind because the value of the dollar is just going down and down and down. And I know your country, you may not have dollars, you may have pounds. Makes no difference, sir, madam. You're going to have the same problem. Lira, pesos, rupees, cedis, naira, call it what you want, all a scam. You
Yeah.
can't hold it for longer than 18 months. So for me, I feel like take profit, yes, but I don't like the terminology. I'll say temporarily shelter your value.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you.
I'm on a short stay home.
Yeah, how long do you intend to hold on to pounds? Let's say you end
I hold on as little pounds as possible. As I explained earlier, I have a severe addiction.
and it's probably the best addiction a man can have or woman. The best addiction you can have is you want to be addicted to holding on to your value. You don't go to work for some guy to just imaginarily print out the money that you've had to work for. That doesn't make no sense.
No.
So until they can imaginarily print Bitcoin, I will take Bitcoin. Thank you very much because it's actual value. I don't want something that some guy can just print. That sounds like monopoly money, and I would not go to work for monopoly money. So,
Indeed. Right, let's get in it to predictions. I think you've had an absolute blinder of a week, sir.
I know I didn't put none in last week. If we use my ones from 2 weeks ago,
Oh yeah.
this is my 2 weeks. This is my 2 weeks ago ones.
I was meant to tell you which ones to put on.
Let's just keep my
Did you
ones
put
from
my
2 weeks
trade on or
ago.
not?
Did I what? Sorry.
Did I give you a trade to put on or no?
Yeah, I feel like I put the trades on. Let's see.
I can't even remember. I'm pretty sure, and I meant to watch it back, but I said something along the lines of, "I'm going to get in contact with you, and I'll get you to put a trade on, and then I can change the
Oh,
graphic."
look at this.
What?
See, we had a short on Asta. We were well up with that, and now we're not. Now we're well down.
Right. Well, anyway, predictions for this week. Oh, I've got rid of ETH accidentally. What are we doing? Bitcoin, ETH.
I knew we should have called a vote. I knew it.
You're the one in charge, sir.
I am not in charge of anything. I'm not even
You're
in charge
of
of.
the hyperliquid account.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
All right. Which other ones do we want?
Right, so we'll do Bitcoin, Ethereum, as we always do about this time.
Yeah.
What did we do last week? We done Asta, AVAX, and
Avalanche,
Trump.
Asta,
Yeah.
and something else.
I feel like this week I would like to do.
Let's have a look what's up.
I feel like I want to do Fartcoin.
Yeah, we can do that.
I want to do Fartcoin. I feel like Fartcoin is due. Oh, look at useless. Tornado Cash is going mental, by the way.
Is it? I don't even track it. What's the ticker for that?
TORN.
TORN.
Yeah, Torn.
Oh, TO. What an idiot. I'll put Tron.
No. Close, but no cigar.
Yeah.
So this is the token that they banned, and
Look, it's breaking out. That's dangerous. Is this on Hyperliquid?
No, it won't be anywhere. You know how difficult it is to buy this thing because it was on the sanctions list. This is the one that they arrested the guys for in the Netherlands.
I was in the Netherlands.
Yeah, well, the guy, no, they arrested him in there. I think he's like...
It's decentralized though, isn't it now?
Yes, it is. So it still works.
Oh, right.
This thing is rat poison to US dominance. It's like you can swap your dollars, like stablecoin dollars, USDT or whatever, or any token on there, and there's no trail.
Crazy.
That is super dangerous.
I wonder who would be using that.
Anybody who wants privacy, you know.
Yep. All the bad men, all the drug dealers.
I don't think so. I think that just
Well, you got a handle on it there. Look, targets of 250.
Mate,
that's
bring
crazy.
It on. Yeah.
You got this nice wedge as well that's formed.
I just like randomly looked at. I just randomly saw it today in my portfolio, and I was like, what the hell's that?
What's
That's
this
looking all, yeah, looking all nice and juicy. And I was like, oh, because I chucked it in the bin in my mind.
Yeah.
In my mind, I chucked it in the bin.
Are we doing Tornado Cash?
You what? Sorry.
Should we do Tornado Cash?
Yeah. Next week I'll do it as my gem of the week because that'll give me a chance to really explain it and why I think.
I've done a gem of the week in ages. By the way.
I know.
What else should we have?
One more. You can choose the last one.
I'm just looking what's been going up.
Do you want to do Per? Per's an interesting one.
What, the Hyperliquid meme?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Hyperliquid, isn't it?
Yeah, but for whatever reason, although Hyperliquid has been going up, Per hasn't.
It never normally does it at the same time. It lags.
Right.
It does its own thing. Just like many crypto tokens, it does what it wants when it wants.
Yeah. Logic is a blunt instrument in crypto.
Indeed.
It's useless.
But yes, we can do Per. So first of all, Bitcoin. You were correct from last week. Well done, sir.
Can you imagine? From last 2 weeks ago.
Indeed. So where do you think currently at all-time highs? And it looks like we may even put an all-time high in whilst we are online. We are $140 away.
I think this is it.
You think this is the final spurt?
Yeah, I think we're starting.
Okay.
I think we're starting.
So what do you want? 135?
130. Can I say 130?
Yeah, 130 is all right.
I'll say 130.
130. It's very sensible.
$130,000 for a Bitcoin. Can you imagine, sir?
Bloody cheap, mate. Cheap.
Did I tell you how much I paid for my first Bitcoin?
No, don't tell me. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the gloating.
Well, it doesn't matter. I don't have any.
I probably didn't even know what a computer was when you bought that.
You would
I've
have
probably never
literally,
even been shown a TV screen.
been in shorts.
Exactly. Don't tell me
little,
of these things that I've missed out on.
little financial navigator running around dreaming of paddle.
Oh god.
Paddle didn't even exist then.
No. Well, it did in Spain. It just wasn't big.
Oh, okay.
If I say 120, is that too close? No, it's the same as you, isn't it?
Yeah.
I reckon we could have a retest of that right there. So call it 119.6. Okay.
Yeah.
19.6. Why not? ETH. And you were just talking about the Bitcoin doing the final thing. ETH has done that same pattern that we've discussed. July, August rally, correct September, blow off. July, August rally, September correction, blow off. Is this third time's a charm? July, August rally, or June, July, August rally, September correction, blow off? Question mark.
Do you know how much I paid for my first Ethereum?
Probably like £2.50.
No. It came out and it was $1. Honestly, I felt
Bloody
like it was
cheap.
at what it was at $1 for ages, and I was so into Ethereum. I used to be on Facebook at the time, and I thought I was like, at that point I used to talk a lot about crypto to like my friends. I was like a right idiot. So obviously I've gone to Facebook, and I remember typing this thing out, and I'd put, your dangerous word for today is Ethereum. And this was before they'd had the ICO and stuff. I was even like, I wanted to learn the programming language. I don't know why. I think it was Go at the time. But I didn't. And it stayed at $1 for ages. And I was like, I should buy it. I've been talking about it. I know it's the best thing ever. And I didn't buy it. And then it went from $1 to like $10, like that, like instantly.
You're like, stupid me.
I know, what an idiot. So I bought it at $10.
Why not? Bloody cheap, mate. Cheap.
Still cheap. Yeah, still cheap.
So what do you think?
What are we at now? 4.7. Can I just say 5? That's well close, isn't it?
Nah, that's allowed.
5. 5.
We'll give it to you. I'm gonna say 4.2.
You're literally being sensible, and I'm being euphoric.
I think we get some sort of wobble over October, to be honest, but I don't know whether it's going to be early or late. But who knows? The mighty fart coin. What do you reckon?
So mighty at the moment.
70 cents.
It's really lagging this pump that we've had over the last 7 days.
It is.
It's not really done much.
Although the longer it takes, normally the harder the rip.
Okay.
You know that puppy's coiling, but will she go again for another flush? I think she could.
It's the one of the biggest memes, isn't it, of this cycle?
That I would have said are the biggest.
Yeah, I don't think Fartcoin goes the way of Whiff or PopCap. I'm going to say $1.
$1?
Yeah.
I'm going to go back down to the lows, like 55 cents.
We are on
Very
different...
split. Very split.
Yeah.
I think this is just guesstimates for next week, by the way, everyone. I don't think this is us thinking, oh my God, by the end of the year.
Of course.
Next week.
We should explain that, because we just assume that everybody watches every week.
Yeah, everybody does. Who doesn't? What are you even doing if you don't watch this every week? Like, there's nothing better to do in your life.
Literally. Wasting your time with that family that are not going up in value. Don't even do it. Just
God.
learn about
Right, Tornado Cash. breakout wedge pattern and cup and handle, well, head and shoulders, sorry, or cup and handle, whichever way you want to look at it.
Interestingly, also narrative-wise, what's been the best performing project in in the top 200 over the last week?
Zcash.
Zcash, another privacy project.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to be brave here. $33.
Let's go. Come on.
Where are you going?
I'm joining you.
Lovely.
I love it when you're bullish about something.
Let's see.
Makes me feel warm and gooey inside.
Per
19 cents.
So it looks like we could have had a capitulation event to the downside, or you've had mad leverage flush, which was that candle. But we are back in the range. Although on the daily, we are now back above SMAs, which is good. It's what we want to see.
Oh, well, that's a weird one, isn't it? Because the yellow line crossed the purple one, and then we had a really weird.
Yeah,
drop.
we kind of just chilled out effectively, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you could also have a wedge in here. Like you could argue that's breakout and a retest of a wedge as well.
30 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go as bullish, but I'm going to say, can I say 24?
Ooh, that's 20% move to the upside.
Too close.
Nah, you can have it. Go on. I'll let you have it.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Often it's direction. I often feel like if you get the direction right, then you've won half the battle.
Where did you say 30 cents?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right, over to you, so for the trades.
All right, let's do it. Let me share my screen. You're really not going to like this.
We've had a comment on Instagram from Mr. Johnny Vino. I hope you're well, sir. XRP proves you don't need tech. You just need a gullible community. Oh, God.
Bravo.
Sorry
Do you know
for
what?
the XRP lovers. We are not biased. I hold it as well.
Yeah.
Joke.
What I like, a story that I told before, is one of the parents from a sport that my child plays. Let me just keep it as vague as possible. They'd said to me, "Oh, you're into that crypto stuff, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yes." And then she said, "Oh, I've got some of that crypto." And I was like, "Oh, have you?" And she was like, "Yeah, yeah." She's like, "I've got XRP." I was like, "Okay." And she says, "I've got no idea what I'm doing. I've got no idea how to sell it or anything like that, but it's up." And I was like, "Oh, good for you. Well played. Well played." And I think that most of the people who come to crypto, actually, there's two of the parents that have done that. Most of the people who come to crypto, XRP is their entry drug. And I think
there's so many content creators that talk about it.
Yeah. But listen, it's got the history. And like I said, you can say gullible following if you want to, but I am now a part of that gullible following. I'm now a believer. I'm now at
XRP to the moon.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Because XRP has done much better than my beloved PivX with all of its zero knowledge proofs and all of this.
All right, so we've got to close these trades out. What have we got? We've got up AVAX 4% and down AS to 41%. Nasty.
Right. Well, first thing I've got to do, it looks like, is connect my wallet.
Nasty.
Establish that connection.
So just in, a tweet's just come up. Tether plans to nominate its own board candidates for Juventus FC at next month's shareholder meeting.
Juventus?
Yeah.
I wonder if they have a fan token.
Yeah, they do. Juventus are one of the first.
Why is it not up?
Probably because is it that big a thing? I wouldn't have said that's like, oh my God, buy the token.
No, I guess you're right.
They're just saying that their things are their candidates are gonna be at the board meeting next month, aren't they?
Oh my gosh! If I could buy this easily, I would buy it. Down 97% from all
What's
time
the
high.
ticket for it?
Juve, I guess. No, just JUV.
I remember looking at all these fan tokens.
I thought they were a completely stupid idea, like very poorly executed.
There's loads. There's Manchester City have got one. Who other Prem teams have got? Has United got one?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Genuinely don't know. Right.
We should probably have a little look at these to be honest.
Why am I not connected? Let me close these all out.
Like that'll have to be for another show. Fan tokens.
Yeah, maybe next week.
Yeah, we could do next week.
Do you know what? I'm going to put it on our. Oh, is that the right? Yep. Fan tokens. We'll discuss fan tokens next week. What are they and why they exist?
We need to figure out a time next week. We're going to be well off schedule for the next 2 weeks, actually.
Yeah, because somebody's
got to fly halfway around the world, boy. Consider it arsehole.
I hope you're bloody offsetting your carbon credits of all this flying around.
What are you on about, mate? I'm flying by electric plane.
Oh, okay, fair enough. You know they charge faster because you're closer to the sun.
Oh, so
yeah. If you have the solar panels on the wings, if you're one of those, charge faster.
Yeah, that's me, mate. Actually, I could just walk. Be carbon negative.
It's not. I think you could make it. Right? You might have to do a little bit of swimming.
10 years or so, you reckon?
Yeah. No. The speed you move, a couple of weeks. Right. So, oh wow. Zcash perps on
Hyperliquid, nice.
Yeah, cracking.
Right, close out those trades first.
Yeah, they're gone. Already done that, mate.
Nice. Right,
we are down overall. We're down quite bad now.
What are we on?
$72. So
we're
down about 28. Down about 28%. This is around the worst we've been.
It is what it is.
We should have closed that Asta out. I knew it. I should have called it.
You should set daily alerts, sir, to remind yourself to look at Hyperliquid. Look at Hyperliquid.
I'm going to change it all so that I do it all on my phone, on my Solana Seeker phone. I want to do that. I'll do that today. And then even when we do it, I'll see if I can share my phone screen. I'll figure out a way. All right, let's go. What we put in our...
What are you taking?
I'm going to take your Bitcoin short.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I'm going to take your Bitcoin short.
Why?
Because I think it makes the most sense out of all the things that I can actually take. Oh, no, actually, no, I'll take the fart long.
That's the one I thought you were going to take. Honestly, I'm looking at FartCon on my screen and thinking he's going to take this one.
But do you know what it is? I'm thinking I just want us to make more money, so I don't want to hedge. I want to go with what you want to go with, and I want to hope that we get a swing down before we get a swing up.
It's a week. We've got to bear in mind we're looking at a week. Like realistically, what I'd actually like to see is Bitcoin continue to make all-time highs from here. Like I would like to see Bitcoin at 130 next week, 128. Because it has been lagging.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just quickly have a look at the Bitcoin ETFs.
We had some big inflows last week.
Yeah, we have.
Like big inflows.
All right. I'll go with the fart long.
You're going fart long. Okay.
Normal service has resumed.
I'm going to take the...
What's going on here?
What am I going to take?
Oh, hold on.
I'm going to take the per long.
All right, let's do yours first because I'm all over the gaff here. Right, per long.
Please.
Are you going? Okay. All right. So we're both going long.
Market, no limit. market entry. I would like a stop loss below, well, at 0.156.
Take profit.
And then I'm going to take an in-between take profit of mine and yours, and I'm going to take 28 cents.
All right, let's get that in there. Abosh. Abosh.
I'm still in my spot pair positions.
I think it's a great place to be.
Yeah,
I'm honest.
I haven't done.
And I'm going to go for the fart long. I think this one could really go. You know,
Be a game changer.
yeah, because it's lagged. It's really lagged SPX. And interestingly, I was going to do a LP position of Fartcoin and SPX DeFi position, but I didn't, and I know I would be out of position now if I had of. Right, take profit. I'll go for 90 cents. Be realistic, and stop loss. I'll go with 60. Bit wide.
No, I think that's all right.
Right, yeah. It looks good. Let's go.
This is another reason, guys, that we have just proven that day trading, unless you actually focus on it and are good at it, just don't do it.
Yeah.
We have been up and down like a bloody yo-yo for what? Months?
Do you know why we've done really well though? That we haven't died yet.
We haven't blown up. That's the number one thing when trading. Don't blow up.
Yeah. And
like you did last week with your 1000x long.
Oh, well, but I didn't blow up for at least 30 odd seconds.
Oh, such a long time.
That's what she said. It's not about the length of time, mate. It's about like how vigorous you were during the 34 seconds. And we had a monumental...
We had a great time.
A time was had, sir.
We have put in an all-time high. $25,859. Come on, keep pushing.
Oh my gosh, look at this, all green. Isn't this lovely?
Bloody splendid, sir.
Yeah, it is marvellous. Right then.
Have you seen the old Zano?
No. Is it doing well?
Ooh, she cooking.
It's another privacy project though, isn't it? I don't know if it's everything, but...
Didn't we talk about privacy potentially being the next thing a couple of weeks back?
It was longer than that. It was months ago. It was months ago we had said, yeah.
We discussed that could have been a potential topic.
Yeah, a narrative.
Mm.
Yeah, we did. We said...
we had what's his name on, didn't we? Jeff.
Yes. Oh, it was around then. Yeah. It was around then. Yeah.
What's that, about a month, 2 months ago?
Yeah, about 2 months ago now.
Yeah. Well, as we mentioned earlier, guys, next week I'm going to be in Oz and I will still be in the UK. So the time differences are pretty wild. We may, I don't know how it's going to work, but rather than going live, we might have to record together and then post it. But if we can go live, we'll go live because I will be in the literal outback in a camper van.
Oh my gosh! Are you not going to have Is your internet guy? You've got Starlink?
I don't know, mate. If it comes with the hire of the van, then fantastic. Like all
so
for
you might not have internet at all.
No, I should have internet. I haven't been told. I haven't been told I need to bring dongles or anything. So
do you know why it's called the outback and not the inback?
Mate, there'll be loads of reception. There's nothing in the way there. Literally nothing there.
I love your laissez-faire attitude. It's brilliant.
It'll be all right. We'll figure it out. If not, I'll have to put into a petrol station and say, sorry, mate, can I have your Wi-Fi? And I'll just do Crypto Waffle.
In return, I shall give you free alpha, sir.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
All right. We'll organise it amongst ourselves and we'll let you guys know as soon as we can.
If you are interested to find out when our next crypto Waffle will be, come and join us in our Telegram channel. Link will be in the description below, and we will post it in there as soon as we know.
Yeah, links on there. It's also on my Instagram as well, and I believe it's on. Is it on yours?
I don't think so. I
It's
should add
definitely
it though.
on the bio in my Instagram. But yeah, if anyone wants it, message either of us directly. We'll quite happily share it with you. And we shall see you all next week. Adios.